Secondly, they're looking at introducing automatic inheritance laws when a partner dies. Now, currently, if an unmarried person dies without a will, their partner is not treated as their next of kin. Now, thirdly...
Let me stop right there. She said automatic inheritance. This one is going to the United Kingdom for people, our UK brothers. All right. Shout out to our UK brothers that are listening to us somewhere in the, what time is it there in the UK? I think you guys are 6 hours ahead of me. All right. So there you go right there. It is 3 p.m. there? 3:20 p.m. 6 hours ahead, maybe 5 hours ahead. I can't remember. Shout out to my UK people. Oh, it's later than that, bruv. It's way later. It's 5:20. You guys are way ahead of us. Shout out to our UK brothers. All right. In the United Kingdom, if you think it's bad here in America, it is almost like 2 degrees hotter in the UK, in Australia, maybe about 5 degrees hotter. So America, you have your problems. Well, Australia and the United Kingdom is almost worse. And you could throw Canada in there as well. And Americans complain about dating and relationships and the laws, but the laws are like 10 times worse or 5 times worse in Canada, UK, and Australia. Okay, it's bad, but they just don't have enough there to really be just talking about it. You know what I mean? And the that are there, the bruvs that are there, they kind of just light in the loafers. You know what I mean? They're not like real bruvs. They're not like American-made bruvs. They're kind of like passive-aggressive bruvs. You know, they walk like this on their, like Atlanta guys. They're like Atlanta guys. They're not gay and bisexual. They just light in the loafers. They're non-masculine. One of the complaints about women in these areas is the lack of masculinity from men from the London, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. There's a lot of, somebody said twinkle toes. There's a lot of non-masculine men in these areas. There's a lot of passive-aggressive guys. And trust me, I've dated a lot of women from this area, and that's one of their biggest complaints. All right, their complaints are that, like, if a woman can cheat on their guy, and the guy will be like, well, oh, well. They won't fight, you know, they won't be like, that's my... They just like, whatever. There's nothing I can do. And let me have a spot of tea. But the laws are worse over there in the old island over there of the United Kingdom. And I'm going to tell you, man, guys have been saying how they're going to beat the system. All right. Guys think they're going to beat the system. Well, I just won't marry her on paper. I'll marry her ecclesiastically and live with her and procreate with her. Therefore, I can't lose in the eyes of the law. Nope. No. I mean, you have children with her, sir. You're gonna get great for child support. And they're just gonna put the alimony into the child support. And then possibly if you live in a state where there's any sort of what do you call it? Anyway, you're gonna get cooked. All right. Don't think you're gonna get out there. You didn't live with the woman, you didn't put babies in her. Well, what some dudes will do is say, I just won't get married at all. I won't give her a ring. I won't sign any papers. I'm just going to not get married. I'm just going to live with the woman and have no marriage. Well, here's the problem with that. So they are now saying in the UK, the government plans to bring in a range of new laws for unmarried couple. Oh, no. All right. And yes, this might hit the great old US of A. So this is why we tell you, man, you cohabitate, just know you're being cooked. So now we're going to develop laws for couples that don't marry. Here we go. Let's play the video so you can hear this, and we'll break it down on Crime and Law CGA. Here we go. I didn't even do my intro. Okay. I don't know what happened. You didn't hear it. You know why you didn't hear it? Because I didn't share it. All right. I'm just listening to it myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm just enjoying it by myself. All right. Anyway, so this is a TikTok video. Sometimes they don't like me playing their videos. So what they'll do is first of all, I didn't share it. Did I share the video? All right. I didn't share the video. Can you see this? Can y'all see it? So now let me see if I can do it again. I have to share the video first, which apparently I didn't. I was watching it. I was enjoying this shit too. All right, so here we go.
Unmarried couples who live together will be given new rights if they split up. It's part of a consultation launched by the government looking to shape future law and better reflect modern society. Well, Lois Swinnerton is here. Lois, tell us more about these planned changes.
Well, lawyers are calling this the biggest shake-up in relationship rights in 2 generations. These are plans to bring in a new laws for unmarried couples. Currently, there are no rights for them in England and Wales. Now, as part of these government plans, they're looking at 3 areas. The first, we're expecting more rights to be given to couples who cohabit, and that's those who have lived together for at least 3 years or share a child together. And this would give them more financial stability should they split up.
Let me stop. I'm telling you, bro. By the way, did I not call this? When I told you, I called this and I said, this is going to be an issue. Eventually the laws are going to catch up. People have been wanting the laws to go backwards to protect. And I said, nope, eventually the laws are going to catch up. You're not going to get the government from not digging in your pockets. All right. Because number one, here's how it works. When you're talking about women are highly dependent. Like they're dependent people. I don't care how independent they think they're dependent. So that if they're in a relationship and it fails, most of the time they're going to need support from the man. All right. So they'll need a little bit of help from you. Let me get on my feet. So they'll ask for a little bit of palimony or just be so kind to get me on my feet until I get a job and, pay down my debt or find a new boyfriend. They'll ask for that. If you don't extend that, they may take you to the laws and say, hey, well, we have a kid together or we were together for so long, we need this help. Or they'll move back in their parents with their dad. So they'll go to the government daddy, they'll go to their sugar daddy, they'll go to their biological daddy, they'll go to their previous boyfriend. That's how they do. And that's how they're always going to work. Even though they come out here and thump their chest, I'm a girl boss and I'm self-sufficient and I have my own money. They don't want to spend their own money, even if they have it. Even if a woman has their own money, it's very rare for her to just say, I'll just get on my feet by myself. So we know this going in. This is built into the relationship. Even if she was 50-50, it's built into the relationship. She's still going to be like, you just going to leave me in a lurch like this? And she might encourage you to stay a little bit longer until then she can pull the rug from under you and then dip. So it's already built into the lifestyle. So what guys will try to do is think that they'll take women for their word. Well, she says she makes her own money and she doesn't need my money and she's independent. Not when it's time to break up. Okay. She wants a man to pay all the bills and then you pay all the bills. And now it's 50-50 when she divorces you. This is built in, it's caked in, and guys are always trying to find a way around this. And I'm saying you can find a way around it temporarily, but the laws are going to catch up. Eventually the laws will catch up and you'll be like, I thought women were equal. I thought they were free. The laws are never going to see it that way. Why? This is why. Because the government ain't dumb. They are dumb, but they're not dumb enough to just feel like they can take women at their word. The government knows that women file lawsuits and divorces more than men. They know they go to social services more than men. In fact, they go to homeless shelters. There's a support system of women that is supported by the government. And that is taxpayers' money that goes to those things. So if a woman's not in a relationship, the government has to support her. If the woman is not in a corporate job, she has a corporate job, she supports herself. If she loses that job, which she's likely to lose it, the government has to support her. If she has no husband, no child's father or father for the children, the government has to support her. So the government's never going to make it advantageous for men to just skirt responsibility. They're always going to know that the government knows, even though they're dumb and it takes them a long time, they know that women are always going to run to them. Or let me just say this, not all women are going to run to them, but the people who run to them are going to be women. So they know that they cannot just have women out here free range. They're always going to protect the ability for the woman to get back on her feet. And they're going to try to make it so they don't have to pay the full bill. For instance, this is crime and law CGA. When a woman goes to social services and she says, she has kids, I can't afford to pay my rent, I need Section 8. I can't afford to pay my electric bill, I can't afford to pay for the groceries. If she has kids, they will not give her benefits initially unless she's on TANF if they have TANF. If they don't have TANF, they're going to say, ma'am, you have 3 kids. You live by yourself. Who are these children's father? They're going to go after the father first. That's example number 1. They're going to say, let's go after that father first. get as much as we can from him, and then we'll fill in the void where we can. We're not just going to just support you and your 3 kids without at least attempting to go after the father for initial support. This is what these laws are as well. And this is not going to change no matter how much feminism has, made an impact positively on women's careers. All right, we know corporate jobs are flimsy at this point. There's no loyalty there. They're going to get laid off and do what? Collect unemployment, which is a government benefit. And they're going to go to the state, even though they said they were all strong and independent and they had their own money. The government's not that dumb. The government promotes feminism. They promote equality, but they know that women are always going to seek them out for support. This is why you have to understand it's baked in. So when you marry, cohabitate, have children with women, she just said it. When you live with a woman, even if there's no marriage, you have a child, they're going to support and protect the people, which are women. Okay. The people, which is women. All right. Their ability to get back onto their feet. All right. So that was number 1. All right. So let's go ahead and rewind that back just slightly, just so you can hear it. Here we go right here.
Couples who cohabit, and that's those who have lived together for at least 3 years.
3 years. 3 years.
Or share a child together. And this would give them
3 years or share a child together, according to her. 3 years or share a child together.
More financial stability should they split up. Secondly, they're looking at introducing automatic inheritance laws when a partner dies. Now, currently, if an unmarried person dies without a will, their partner is not treated as their next of kin. Now, thirdly,
let me stop right there. She said automatic inheritance for partners. Cohabitating partners. I don't know in many places, for sure in America. This is a concern for women. By the way, women have aired these concerns out a lot. Like if you say to a woman, well, I'm not going to get married through the state. We're just going to cohabitate and have an ecclesiastical marriage. Well, she's going to say, well, what if you die? They're going to go back and ask your son to pull you off the plug. And I can't give you medical treatment because you don't have extended relatives and I'm your only one. She's going to put that scenario in your head and you'll be like, yeah, well, all that. And she'll be like, well, I ain't sitting through this. Well, these laws give her that leverage. Okay, well, I was his cohabitating partner for 3 years. I get automatic inheritance. I get to make medical decisions about this nigga. All right. This is interesting, right? This is interesting. So now they're giving the incentive. I say they're putting a bullseye. They're putting a price on his head. I get automatic inheritance, or let's just say it's not as automatic. She's going to have to be able to fight the law and be able to get this and fight your parents and fight your ex-wife and fight your kids off because you live with her. So there's nothing really you can do. I know guys are always trying to figure it out. The basis of it is you got to boss up in this free agent lifestyle. There's no defeating this. Even if, let's say you defeat it at the time, all they have to do is change the law. They just changed the law in the middle of you cohabitating, and whoops. By the way, this beats ecclesiastical marriages, doesn't it? Wasn't ecclesiastical marriages this? I'll just cohabitate and have kids, and she can't divorce me. They must have been listening to Andrew Wilson. They must have been listening to the debate and said, oh, I got something for your ecclesiastical marriages. This is the defeat of the ecclesiastical marriage. Right. All they did was move the chess pieces. Oh, ecclesiastical marriage, you say. Boop. There goes ecclesiastical marriages. Just like that in the United Kingdom. And oh, wait, just wait till it gets over here in the land of the thief and the home of the slave. Because it'll get here too. It's going to get here. Let's hear what the third one is.
Courts could give greater powers to those fleeing domestic abuse in both married and unmarried relationships. Now, this morning, I spoke to lawyer Jo Edwards. She's been campaigning for this for 25 years. She says it's life-changing for couples.
All right, couples. And it's mostly for women here. We know who this is for, gentlemen. We know who this is for. So fleeing domestic abuse. So he was abusive.
This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to look very carefully at rights for unmarried couples. There are 3.5 million cohabiting couples in this country.
Where's the ecclesiastical marriage guys at?
And it's growing exponentially. And yet they often find on separation, they're left with no financial rights whatsoever.
Ooh. He said, fuck that ecclesiastical marriage shit. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna work. You live with me, you have kids, you live with me or have kids, that's enough. Cooked.
Well, the government sees this as part of its push to address violence against women and girls, and that's because domestic abuse is more prevalent in unmarried relationships, and women often feel that they can't leave because they can't afford to, and that they feel trapped. Now, as I said,
so this is again one of the conundrums of men paying 100% of the bills. All right, I want a man to pay 100% of the bills. So now you pay 100% of the bills, but now she's trapped and can't leave. You're like, oh. And you're like, well, you can take your own money that you've been saving up. She hasn't been saving it up because they're going to say they're going to save it up. But trust me, they're not going to save it up. All right. 7 out of 10 of them are going to spend all of their extra money, their slush fund. And they'll be like, well, I spent it on Amazon and high heels and pretty dresses. Now I can't leave the relationship. Domestic and financial abuse. All right. He financially abusive. He cut up the Costco card and the gas card, and you cut off the library book card and all kind of crazy ass just to get, and now you're financially abusive. Okay.
These are all plans in consultation. The consultation runs until mid-August. So as we've seen here, huge changes could be just around the corner.
And they happy as hell, bro. You cut her off the car insurance, financial abuse. Now you getting dragged in court ecclesiastically. Shout out to them right there. This is an interesting thing right there. Crime and law CGA right there. I told you it's coming. I saw it coming. That's why I went solo. And I'm going to tell you, nothing is going to get you rich overnight. Okay. You're going to have to build this particular wealth. So with that being said, I'm going to put this up here. Non-disclosure agreement. He says that has to be at least $5,000 in equipment, allegedly. Yes. Don't invest in your show will suffer.
When I hit 300,000, of course, I was listening to you. If you train your mind and you apply and you actually study and level yourself up, oh yeah, you're going to get the money, but you have to be dedicated.
You need multiple streams of income. This is a non-negotiable at this point. If you only have one income, if you lose that income, now where are you?
Never had an emergency fund. Never. Because if you have the ability to save money in excess of your needs, then that money should be multiplying for you.
What we do is we help with unified systems, your brand system, your web system, your data, and your operations.
If you get into a situation where you were going to take a shortcut, this is when you're going to get scammed.
Like you apply to a job and a day later, you got a rejection letter. Nobody read your resume. The AI rejected your resume.
I have my cameras down here so that it's always behind everything else.
One of the things that we definitely want to practice in picking these stocks, you definitely want to exercise patience. So if you're doing diligence on a stock and you don't have to buy it at that particular point in price,